Hey guys, welcome to another video. It's really nice to have you here. Today, we'll just continue from where we stopped from the last video, and we'll talk about how to store mutable data on Irys. By default, blockchain data is immutable. Once uploaded, it can't be changed, tampered with, or deleted. That's true on Irys too. But Irys gives us a way to simulate mutability safely and on-chain. Why immutability? Immutability is great for transparency and trust, but sometimes we do want to make updates. For example, if you're a creator and you want to update your published content, or you are building a game where NFT metadata evolves like different levels, or you are hosting a dApp frontend and need to push new versions without changing URLs. All these are examples where mutability really works. Update your data while keeping the same link. The default link always points to the updated data. The good thing, Irys makes mutability simple. You can create a mutable reference which always points to the latest version of your data, regardless of how many uploads you make. One link, multiple version, always resolves to the newest. What we will do today, in this video, I'll show you step by step how to upload data that stays up to date using Irys mutable references. So we'll continue from where we stopped the last time in our mini blog where we uploaded data with tags. So we're going to upload a first version of a blog post, making some intentional mistake, the root, and then we'll get the ID and upload a second version and link it to the first version using the root tx tag. And then we'll confirm that the first version of our project have updated with the second version with the same link. We will have to confirm that that link now shows the updated version. Let's get started. Okay. First, we want to open our terminal and go to our previous project, document, Irys, tutorials, store stuff on Irys, right? And code dot. Okay, so previously we had this guy, right? Okay, let's copy this well. Copy path, right? Good. So to begin, I don't want to be seeing all of this. So let's change the tag. So we sort of like start from scratch. So let's change this to script, yeah. So let's go back and change, let's just say my blog one, and my blog one. So to begin, the first thing we have to change to store our content, to store our content in a mutable way, we have to change the source URL. Just change it to mutable, right? And then if we go back to our code and we update, we won't actually see anything because our transaction is empty for now. We've not updated any data. So let's just say my first blog, the content of my first blog, and let's just say 1, 2, 3, right? Actually, I just want to get some music in the background. I like coding with music. Okay. All right. So let's update this guy. Node index.js. That might be too loud. All right. So if we go back and we refresh, You should see it, right? My first blog and stuff. All right. So if we go to this link, copy, we'll see the content of the first blog, right? Good. So now let me upload another content, my second blog. The content, and let me just purposely make some mistakes here, right? And upload. If I come here and I refresh, I'll see my second blog, the content of my first blog. Oops, that was a mistake, right? So I want to sort of like edit this, right? So I'm going to create a separate file for our mutability. And what I just want to do at first is just to say const update data, right? I'm just going to call this an async function. Right, and then we just get the data to upload. Before that, we get Irys. Say await get Irys uploader. Great. And then we get the data to upload, and we say, okay, we want to still upload the second blog, but we want to update the contents instead of my first to be my second, right? And we just say 4, 5, 6, right? And then let's try to upload data, but before that we need the tags, right? We need our tags to get the actual tags. And one more tag that we need, this is what actually helps us to connect the first transaction with this particular one. Don't worry, when you see this in action, you understand better. Value, right? And then we say the value should be the ID of this guy. So let's just copy this to make things faster. So we're still uploading data, but this time around we want to update it, right? All right, let's go ahead. Okay, we need to call this here. So let's go ahead and run mutable.js. Okay, so we're having some error. Okay, we need, this has to be .js. Actually, I don't want to clear. Good, great. So if we go to this URL, we see that it updates by itself. My second blog, the content of my second blog, and then the ID. And if we come back to our front end, something is missing, right? Good. We want to go back to our query, and we need to update this to mutable. So let's go back and refresh. Nice. Now we see that both the address and the content has updated. Before it was first blog and then this guy, but now we're seeing second blog, right? But we have another slight issue, right? If we notice, we are still getting the second blog as a third blog, because if we check our query, you can see that we're getting 3 different ID from the array. So what we can do is we can write a JavaScript filter method to filter this, to check for existing, for duplicate content, and then delete it, right? And not delete it, filter it out, right? So we need to do this. Let's create post data dot transactions dot edges, data transaction edges dot filter JavaScript filter method, and we say we want to filter a particular edge where the edge is not equals to node dot tags dot sum. So I'm just filtering root tx. Right, so we replace this to be the post. And before we go back, we'll get an error because we don't have tags in our query. So let's add tags. Name and value. Right? So let's go back and refresh this. Good. So now we filter it because the first blog and the second blog were duplicates. So we just needed to get the updated version of the second blog, right? So before I end this video, I just remembered my old HTML vanilla JavaScript days. I remembered we can actually just do this div dot inner HTML should be equals to this guy, and then we'll just create the h1 like a normal HTML, right? And just use this guy to say post.title. So actually this should be an h2, yeah. And then below we want to create a p tag and then an h5, right? Post.content, yes, author. Nice. So we really don't need to do all of this and all of this, right? So let's go back and check this out. Great. So this is mutable reference in action, and I hope you're able to see the value of this. Despite the fact that blockchain data are immutable by default, Irys made this possible. Reuse cases, dynamic NFT, metadata or images that change with progress, gaming, stats, levels, or equipment evolve on chain, social/content, blog posts similar to what we did here can be updated and edited. That posting, and for instance, you have a site and you don't want to change your link when you make changes, right? So anytime your product needs editable content/data, you can use mutable references on Irys. So let's say you've taken it upon yourself to build something. Where can you get help? Well, one of the best places, you can take my word for it, is to check the Irys docs. The Irys docs is really well detailed and it'll help you during your journey. Or if you want to take a step further, you can reach out to me on X. My username currently is Michugan. My previous X account was suspended. And you can also join the Irys Discord. I'll also be there as EasyCrypt to answer some of the questions that you have. Thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you in another video.